Testing, 1, 2, 3. Standard comms. Slightly louder, slightly louder, slightly louder. Big chance. I'll do the big chance one again. can't turn the sound on until they turn off the licensed music. Yeah, I don't play the music now. The heavens have opened up above us here in Melbourne's east, but round 9 of the NPL Women's Victoria season continues nonetheless. The second game of this slate of action as Box Hill United facing off against South Melbourne FC. The hosts wearing their all royal blue strips, getting us underway, kicking from left to right of your screen. South Melbourne in their away white shirts, their navy blue shorts, kicking from right to left in this opening stanza. As an early opportunity for the visitors. Misha Westland, just like that. Seconds into the contest, almost just their second touch of the ball, South Melbourne. And before many of the members of this crowd here at Wembley Park had a chance to take their seats, they look up and see that Misha Westland has pushed South Melbourne into the ascendancy with an absolute corker of a long-range strike. Right out of the tippy-top draw, and I hadn't even had the chance to introduce myself. My name is actually Joey Lynch, and, well, hopefully you had time to familiarise yourself with the stream here on the NPL Victoria YouTube page and catch that absolute banger of a goal from Misha Westland. The perfect start for her South Melbourne side. We're going to back up that 3-1 win over Calder last week, and that's a very good start. Just placing it perfectly over the top of Natasha Stathopoulos in the Box Hill goal. In front of Natasha Stathopoulos, there's Laura Pickett, Zoe Hudson, who wears the armband with regular skipper Olivia Ellis on the bench. Devon Jackson, Bridie Cooling, Belinda Stochevsky, Aska Doy, Holly Murray, Nicolina Bucalo, Elwyn Parbury, and Sophia Sakalis, the former gold medalist, the Perth Glory representative, making her first appearance of the season for Pythagoras. Didn't have a chance to touch the ball before her side were in a deficit. Out coach Bobby Zdravkovsky, hoping that these new A-League women tested additions, Pickett, Jackson, Sakalis, Harbury, Murray, can all help his side shake off the cobwebs from that early haymaker and get back into this one. For South Melbourne, ahead after that Misha Westland goal. Christina Esposito's in goal in front of her. Skipper Danielle Mikulev, Sophie Papatsanis, Francesca Yamano, Taylor Christensen, Chiara Ronopoulos, Misha Westland, the goal scorer. Emily Roach makes her first appearance on the season. Dragana Klajic, Grace Rapp, and Leia Varley coming into the squad. So a few A-League women tested figures for South Melbourne. Emily Roach as well, making her first appearance of the campaign. Spent a few months in China earlier this year, but now back at Lakeside Stadium. South trying to answer back, but they're not going to wait their way past Grace Rapp. Can have another go now. Potentially, no. Varley getting in the way. Her pass wayward. Sochevsky puts it back in the right direction for Pythagoras. Callow couldn't hold it. Opportunity now for South Melbourne to spring forward in transition. Players steaming forward. Space potentially for Klajic on the left. Couldn't get out to her. And it's going to be coming back for an offside. Misha Westland, no doubt, giving South Melbourne, well, a good start to their night. Their men's side in action also this Friday evening out in Melbourne's West, again, the original Melbourne derby against the Melbourne Knights. Potentially giving her male counterparts a bit of inspiration there, Misha Westland, as Taylor Christensen just feeds the ball out into the right, but as it's lofted forward, Danielle Mikulev, finding herself in an offside position, has struggled for fitness thus far this season, Danielle Mikulev. Normally a lethal goal scorer, still looking for her first on the 2024 campaign. Did score both of South's goals in this fixture against Box Hill last season. And a 1-0 win early in the campaign, and then a 1-1 draw here at Wembley Park late on. Mikulev's goal on that day, a 94th minute equaliser that cancelled out 10th minute penalty from Mindy Barbieri. Sakalis, delightful little ball, lofted forward, but wouldn't have counted even if Devon Jackson had somehow been able to swivel and put it on target, and it's the Kiwi had meandered into an offside position. Devon Jackson, another one of these new additions for Box Hill, signing from Canberra United in the A-League women's season, where she scored 2 goals across 13 starts, 21 appearances in total. He's formerly with the Eastern Suburbs in the land of the long white cloud before heading over to Australia. Very handy pickup for Box Hill as they look to continue on what has been some decent form in recent weeks. 7 out of a possible 12 points picked up across their last 5 games. A 50-50 contest there. In the end, it's going to be a free kick against Holly Murray, former South Melbourne representative, now playing for Box Hill. She too, A-League Women experience with Canberra United. Holly Murray. Ball in the hands of Leah Varley before she will surrender it to Francesca Yamano. Ball down the touchline was intended for Rapp, doesn't come off, and Box Hill can have a go now. Cooling gets us going, sending it back to Laura Pickett. Stephopoulos sending it forward. Jackson just unable to get a head on it. For grabs in the midfield now. Taylor Christensen's there, but so is Nicolina Bucalo for Box Hill. Jackson battling for it. She can't win it. Ball with South. Yamano. Roach just sends it back. Centre back in Varley. Forward for Westlands. She's just bundled off the ball by Askadoy. Fairly. Good challenge. Box Hill unable to take advantage. Askadoy has been on a bit of a hot streak for Box Hill in recent weeks. Their leading scorer on the campaign with 3 goals to her name, following up the 10 she grabbed in 2023, scored last week, and now 1-1 draw with Burundara. 22nd minute equaliser. Jackson thought about the shot as she carried the ball from left to right, didn't come off. Now Claich chasing this one down the left for South Melbourne, keeps it in play. Cross, Christensen, who lays it off. And the ball played in front of her, looking to run it down. Christensen got there before Zoe Hudson. Hudson recovers well, gets in the road and wins her side a goal kick. Pickett closed down, kept the ball moving. Cooling's attempt to play it back central could only find white shirts, but Sakalis on the scene for Box Hill. Across to Murray. Switch of play ends with Jackson competing with it. Battling Chronopoulos. South Melbourne right back puts the ball into touch. Hill continuing to build, but let down in this final pass, this final move once more. That one rolling through rather easily for Christina Esposito. Roach closed down. A bit of pressure at South Melbourne in this back line. This press of Doy and Jackson. They're going to cough the ball up in an advantageous position for the hosts. Just about 10 minutes gone if you are just joining us, South Melbourne taking the ascendancy just seconds into this contest with a long-range bomb from Misha Westland. Not a lot of actual attacks for South Melbourne since then. Nothing really that would worry Natasha Stathopoulos on the ball now for Box Hill and laying it off, but they've got that one goal in their pockets already. It's Hudson. Her ball was able to find Ellen Parbury. Her control let her down. Dragana Klajic lays it off for Francesca Yamano. Yamano stood up by Laura Pickett. And it will be our first corner of the game for South Melbourne. This attacking left-hand flank. Rain is coming down rather hard at Wembley Park, but no real wind to affect it. Didn't matter because they went short. And then snuffed out for offside. So, Box Hill, not given much reason to panic with that South Melbourne routine. Hudson. Closed down by Mikulev. We've got a touch on it. Silva pick it up. Askadoy now in a foot race with Varley, who uses that size advantage that she has over pretty much every attacker in the NPL Women's Victoria competition to win the battle. And then easy free kick to give for our referee tonight, Luke Ginimasis. He's being assisted by Jonah Malaki and Hans Fielso. Fourth official is Aidan Skinner. Renopoulos got stood up, but she had cover behind her. Yamano now. A bit of time and space, and Klajic in front of her. That's where it goes. Dragana Klajic tried the first time, ball around the corner, sent it straight to Murray. Jackson lifting it over the top in the direction of Parbury. End result, a throw-in for Box Hill. Cooling. High ball in. Sails over the top of Nicolina Bicallo. She goes back to get it. Closed down by multiple South Melbourne players. Now that ball picked out. Opportunity on the break if Mikulev can turn. She does. Ball over the top. Christensen going in the wrong direction when it was hit, and rather central in the end. Comfortable for Stathopoulos. Cool. Just trying to sneak something through, and Jackson did well to get a touch on it, but couldn't keep it in. Devon Jackson, but she has been lively early on. What you're hoping for from your international editions, they bring that extra level of class here at an NPL Women's Victoria level. Jackson turns, facing the right way, going into the box. Went down, no whistle. Then Mikulev couldn't keep the ball for South Melbourne. Sakalis playing the ball out for Stoichevsky on the left. Has Christensen for company. Able to beat her, but not the second and third defenders arriving. Mikulev has it sneak between her legs. Sakalis pounces. Varley hoofs it forward in the Christensen direction. She gets a leg on it, but then probably just has to watch as four Box Hill defenders all run with it through to Natasha Stathopoulos. Pickett trying to spring the next Box Hill attack forward. Bounces off Parbury, but she recovers. Callow to Sakalis. Box Hill building. Is this the time where they properly test Esposito? No, it's not. Ball to Dragana Klajic, who just knocks it away. But Box Hill, after copying that early sucker punch from Misha Weston that put them in a 1-goal hole, beginning to just add to this possessional pressure, this territorial pressure, whilst mostly denying South Melbourne much, if any, luck in transition. That ball lofted forward, headed away by Varley. Yamano pokes it forward, but there's nobody running onto it for South Melbourne. Hudson, a comfortable claim. Pickett keeps it on the ground for Sakalis. An advanced midfield role in front of Murray, whom she gave the ball. And the attempted pass into the path of Cooling on that right flank comes to naught. And South Melbourne will get us restarted with a throw-in. 17.5 minutes gone here on the scoreboard at Wembley Park. And mercifully for the players, the rain properly easing off as we approach the 20-minute mark. It was coming in sideways just before kickoff. To Pickett. Hudson closed down by Christensen. Sakalis. Comfortable in possession, Sophia Sakalis. Ball played in the Jackson direction, headed away. Riley's got 2 for company. So she looks for the touchline and gains a few metres before it goes out for a Box Hill throw-in. Which the hosts are going to be made to take in the position where it went out. See why Box Hill were probably happy to surrender a few of the metres they were entitled to, because in the crowded area where the throw-in went, it's led to a bit of chaos, which South have seized upon. Klajic kept it in, but coughed it up. Murray for Box Hill. Klajic battling back for it. Roach in the vicinity as well, as was Westland, who was good, getting it to Varley. Closed down by Aska Doy. Chronopoulos. She gives it away. Jackson laying the ball off down the flank. A couple of Box Hill players were waiting in the box, the primary option being Parbury, but before any ball can be sent in, South defenders converge and marshal it out for a goal kick. Slicing ball forward, springing south. Nichols control an attempted turn, saw her dispossessed. And the free kick will be going Box Hill's way. Nichols and Pickett coming together, and well, neither of them came up sunshine and rainbows, but Pickett at least won the the free kick for her side. And neither appears worse for wear as Pickett plays the ball back to Stathopoulos as Mikulev goes about applying something of a press for South Melbourne. South Melbourne throw in just inside the Box Hill half of the field. As Coach Bobby Zdravkovsky sends his bench to probably loosen up and just not get too tight and cold. Can't envision him wanting to make a sub just yet. The Box Hill bench: Deborah Lawrence, Olivia Ellis, Mariam Anvari, Olivia Johnston and Marwa Sumayoro. Deborah Lawrence, the backup keeper. The others outfielders. So a decent bench for Box Hill to call upon. As Jackson's attempt to drive forward comes to naught. South's backup goalkeeper, Emma Olsen, on the bench, as is Asia Claridge, Isabella Stewards, Georgia Candilas, Annalise Bader and Jessica Sheehan. Letitia McKenna, the Melbourne City representative, was named in the extended squad for South Melbourne this week, heading back to Lakeside Stadium after helping Dario Vidicic's side to silverware with the premiership. Of course, going down in the grand final to Sydney FC, but not past fully fit to feature this evening. Potential debut awaits her next week when South are at home to FV Emerging. Cooley. We have another go now as South try to close things down, and she's going to do well to get it out to Nicolina Bucalo. Ball in central. Well, Sakala sent it goalward, but not in a manner that would give Christina Esposito much pause. Well, initially went into Aska Doy, who couldn't get a handle on things. Varley tries another slicing ball forward, but again, doesn't come off for South Melbourne. Milano's come forward from her position at left back and puts it out for a throw-in. And the visitors now have a throw-in of their own, which gives Dragana Klajic the cue to reclaim her position on the left wing. And Yamana will have to get back because Jackson's advancing down her defensive flank. She's helped out by Varley. Klajic thought about going central and then thought better. She sent it back to Yamano. South looking to reset. Across their back four. Westlands wanted to spring Klajic down the left flank, picked off by Cooling. Westlands gets another opportunity, and this time, on a better angle, finds Klajic, but Klajic was in an offside position when the ball was played. Pickett loses the challenge, lofts it forward, wants Aska Doy to run onto it. Varley gets in the road, sends it back to her keeper. Monopoulos forward for Roach. The touch isn't clean, enables Hudson to take it back for Box Hill. Sakalis almost lost the ball, had to just poke it to Pickett. Cooley. Forward for Asker Doy. She can't keep it. Klajic. Back to Varley. He played central for Roach. Roach can't move it on, but does win a free kick after she was found by Rapp. Roach sends it out to Klajic on the left. Ball played into the top of the 6-yard box, headed on! And South have their second. And it's Danielle Micallef with her first goal of the campaign. You knew it was just a matter of time. And Micallef, she haunted Box Hill in this fixture last year, scoring in both games. Now it is 3 games on the bounce with a goal against Pythagoras. Danielle Micallef, the South Melbourne skipper, makes it 2. And in the 28th minute of this round 9 NPL Women's Victoria contest, South Melbourne have a 2-0 advantage over hosts Box Hill. They moved it very quickly there to South Melbourne, getting it into Klajic on the left, who didn't muck about, sending it straight in. Finding the run and glancing header of Micallef. And Natasha Stathopoulos unable to keep it out. And it will be of disappointment to Box Hill as they try to respond, because they certainly have had possession and territory to create something. As yet, their final ball, their final decision has just been lacking. And Christine Esposito on the ball now for South Melbourne, the goalkeeper, has had very little to actually worry about. Now we wait to see just what will the next blow be. Can Box Hill find a response? Can South Melbourne land a 3rd haymaker that would put this contest to bed? He'll throw in. Callow. Central to Murray. Murray again. Sakalas. Good close control. Central for Murray. That final ball just attempting to slide away through for Elwyn Parbury. Comes to naught, and Esposito jumps on it. Roach on the ball for South Melbourne, wants Klajic. Well, found her, but Klajic was in an offside position. And South Melbourne have been pinged for on a few occasions thus far in this 90 minutes. A 3rd of which is now expired here on the scoreboard at Wembley Park. 30 minutes and 30 seconds just gone. Nice turn there, opens it up for Klajic, but again, Dragana Klajic, the South Australian, receiving the ball in an offside position. Sakalis. Westlands came up to apply the pressure on Pickett, who was nonetheless able to get the ball to Murray. So Chevsky back to Hudson. She's closed down by Mikulev. Christensen's providing the support. And they'll prevent Box Hill from playing out. They'll do so by giving away a throw-in. Which will be repeated. Westland setting her teammates almost into a bit of trouble there. Trouble which now maybe arises. Harbury giving chase. No, sorry, it was Devon Jackson giving chase down that left flank, forcing South Melbourne to just put the ball into touch for a throw in deep on the attacking left flank of Box Hill. Only for it to promptly bounce off the knees of Ascadoy for South Melbourne. Throw in, albeit, given the relative dearth of goals that arise from free kicks in the NPL Women's Victoria competition, maybe the attempts to immediately spring a transition could work out for Box Hill, and indeed they have taken the ball back in a central position. Sakalis is just dragged to the turf by Dragana Klajic, winning a free kick, with Roach ensuring that it can't be taken quickly. Sakalis sending it forward to Doy, turns it around the corner for Bicalo. Cooling. Taking it up the right flank. Got it away from Klajic, but not the South defenders in the middle. Yamano, heavy touch, puts it out. Carlo does enough to keep it in, but that allows Yamano to steal it away. Threads the needle to Varley, who shows a bit of fancy footwork to take it away from Doy. Sakalis is there to take it back for Box Hill. All in dispute. Falls to Murray. Cooley. She'll send it back to Pickett. Box Hill looking to reload. Hudson. Shaking off Mikulev. And just trying to lay it through for Doy. Varley gets in the road, and now Christensen has some room to manoeuvre. Players arriving in the middle. Christensen back to Mikulev. Her attempt blocked away by Pickett. Players go to the turf competing for the ball. Play on. Christensen. Back central for Rapp. Her ball forward, cleared away. Now maybe. Will we see transition on transition? Box Hill getting forward quickly through Sophia Sakalis. But she has the ball taken away from her. All beginning to open up and stretch. Christensen. Another opportunity to drive into space. One step over. For Hiranopoulos. Ball played in central. It has gone out and out for a corner kick. So in the 36th minute here at Wembley Park, South Melbourne will have an opportunity at least to improve on their first attempt at a corner in this half, which was short but didn't result in a ball into the box. And whoa! Well, as far as improvements go, that's pretty much up there. The ball snookering everybody and finding its way into the back of the net. And well, talk about something out of nothing. South Melbourne have a 3-0 lead in this one. Wembley Park somewhat stunned. And well, Misha Westland, who it was with the goal, has had a go from downtown twice, and on both occasions has come up with the goods. It's actually shoot on sight orders really now if you are Misha Westland. Albeit her rather mooted reaction to that goal would suggest that maybe she wasn't fully intending to do that. Matters little, of course, on the scoreboard, which now sees South Melbourne 3 goals to the good. Jackson for Box Hill. She'll have a go. And a flash across the face of goal. And at least that one did have Esposito scrambling, something which has been rather rare for Box Hill to force this evening. Something, well, you can never say never in the NPL Women's Victoria competition. If South can score 3 goals inside the opening 40 minutes, stand to reason that the likes of Sophia Sakalis and Devon Jackson could spur Box Hill to doing something similar in the remaining 50. Albeit an incredibly difficult task. Carla plays it back to Pickett. Hudson. Jackson. Stachevsky. The ball did find its way through to Parbury eventually, but she was coming back from an offside position. Roach comes away with the South, getting it to Rapp, who shields the ball. Sakalis trying to sneak the ball through for Doy, who couldn't find the ball, and then in her enthusiasm to get it back, gives away a free kick. Oh, it's Sakalis just tuning up the radar in the aftermath. Won't count, of course. Esposito to take the free kick, had Chronopoulos to her right, Varley to her left. Goes to Varley. Goes to Klajic. Klajic loses her marker. Sorry, that was Yamano who got the ball to Klajic. Now Yamano's going to have to get back as Box Hill are coming forward with intent and purpose that peters out. Callow's ball forward is a good one. Finding its way to Sakalis, who gives it back. Jackson. Couldn't pull the trigger before she was closed down. Yamano. Klajic. To Yamano. Buchanan in the vicinity, but so is Verley. All over the head of Roach. Plenty of time for Pickett to get back and collect. Murray. Ball to Piccolo. Just tried to knock it around the advancing Yamano. Harley just able to poke it away before Doy was able to seize upon it. And then Chronopoulos taking it away from Parbury. Apatsanis. Pass forward, not clear. Sakalis. Through to Doy. Asker Doy. Shot blocked by Varley, but it will be a corner for Box Hill. 42.5 minutes gone here at Wembley Park. Opportunity late in this opening stanza for Box Hill to at least reduce this deficit by 1 before the main break. Cooler. Well, wound up. Not sure if it was a shot. An attempt to find somebody in the box. Box Hill is still trying to fashion a way through, though. Murray has it taken away from her. Callow taking it back for Box Hill. Pickett. Ball goes over the head of Jackson, through to Parbury. Ball back in the Doy direction. She gets a head on it to Jackson. Can she turn and shoot? No, closed down. And Yamano comes away with it for South Melbourne. It's Yamano. Klajic. Poked clear by Cooling, but only as far as Varley. Westland. Esposito. Renopoulos. Apatsanis. Westland bundled off the ball, but in a manner that deserved a free kick, according to our referee. Asker Doy applying the physicality. Lofts the ball forward to the feet of Doy. Around the corner for Jackson. She's through on goal. Devon Jackson. Just on the wrong side of the post. Box Hill's best chance of the game. Agonisingly close to bringing this back to 3-1. From our angle, looked like it might have had Esposito beat if she'd just been able to drag it a few inches to the left. Now that's the kind of build-up that Box Hill have been threatening to produce, but to now have been unable. And in a game where South Melbourne have proven clinical, Box Hill see their first real chance of the game go begging. And now on the back foot as they defend. With the 45 minutes expired. And added time now in effect. And that will be all that was written for this opening 45 minutes here at Wembley Park. It was 45 minutes of football in which South Melbourne immediately jumped on their opponent, scoring within seconds through Misha Westland. Box Hill had their fair share of the territory, their fair share of possession, but find themselves going into the rooms down 3-0 after subsequent goals from Danielle Mikulic, her first of the campaign, and another cross-come shot from Misha Westland that beat everybody, including Natasha Stathopoulos in the Box Hill goal. So the visitors, South Melbourne, appear on their way to 3 points. Be sure to join us on the other side of the main break to see if they can see this contest out. Welcome back, one and all, to Wembley Park for this second 45 minutes here in this round 9 clash of the NPL Women's Victoria competition between Box Hill United and South Melbourne. And if you are just joining us, it is South Melbourne who will get us going in this second stanza in their white shirts, navy blue shorts, kicking from left to right. They have a 3-0 lead heading into this second 45 minutes. Misha Westland with a first half brace, adding to a Danielle Mikulev goal, putting them well into the ascendancy over the hosts Box Hill United, who are wearing that all blue strip and kicking from right to left here in the second 45. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for joining us on the NPL Victoria YouTube page, wherever you happen to be it here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, or indeed anywhere around the world. They do find themselves down 3 goals in this game, do Box Hill, but they haven't been overrun. They've had plenty of the ball and territory, just letting themselves down in the final third thus far as Pythagoras, and South Melbourne has been want to make them pay. They can't do so on that occasion, as Taylor Christensen, well, she couldn't keep the ball in play, but even before that she had come from an offside position. Cooling, charging down the right. Collides with her player, but the call is play on. Cooling now, whipping the ball in. Jackson is there. The ball just floated off her boot. She can't get the shot away. And another one of these half chances goes begging for Box Hill with a follow-up long-range effort. Well, Esposito spilt it. Should have claimed that one, the South Melbourne keeper, but couldn't get a handle on it. Maybe the rain and the dew still here at Wembley Park, potentially just making that one difficult to grasp, and it will be a Box Hill corner. And well, we saw South Melbourne score from a corner taken from that side of the park in the opening half. Box Hill, at least initially, unable to repeat the feat. Picallo sends it back out to that corner with open play. Box Hill can have another go, potentially. Jackson's low ball in. Doi was lurking, couldn't find her. Japanese attacker heads it on the second time of asking, but Esposito gets down low and claims. Esposito claims and boots the ball forward, headed away by Zoe Hudson. All up for grabs. Stochevsky just knocks it clear, but only as far as Rapp. Ricocheting around, eventually will fall for a throw-in for South Melbourne on their attacking right flank. Clage turns and sends it central. Hudson gets there before Rapp. Westland's attempt to play it forward is a tame one. There's Box Hill through Bucalo coming away with it on the right flank. She takes it around her marker, closed down by Westland, goes around her. Christensen as well, can't win it back. Jackson, round one, Devon Jackson won't make any errors this time. Ball in the bottom left corner of the net. And the Kiwi international, the football firm, takes her opportunity, and early on, less than 5 minutes into this second stanza, Box Hill reduced this deficit. It is now a 3-1 game and is an unlikely comeback perhaps brewing. If you were going to create one in this second stanza, if you were Pythagoras, you would have need to score early, and well, thanks to their new signing Devon Jackson, they have done just that. But Sanders sends it back to Esposito. Well, spending a lot of time around the South Melbourne penalty area early on, and it's sent in that direction again. Jackson, the goal scorer, able to win the ball away from Rapp. Mikulev. Ball is coughed back up to Pythagoras, though, inside the south half. Murray. Cooley. Going to get back inside. Sending it past Askadoy. Who now gives chase. Winning it back. Parbury. Able to bustle away into the penalty area, but Box Hill continuing to just add pressure. Well done there from Jackson. Parbury, left-footed cross in. Sakalis was there, couldn't make proper contact. Christensen around the corner. To Yamano, who gets to Westland. Christensen. Box Hill winning it back. Central for Sakalis. Wanted to shoot, didn't make proper contact. Doy couldn't react. Appeals for a free kick, and it will be a free kick. Won by Righty Cooley. In an interesting area. Difficult to find a way past Esposito from this range, albeit in Sophia Sakalis. Box Hill have one of the players in this competition who maybe you would give a better shot than most. Massive bodies getting forward. Massive bodies back for South Melbourne to defend. Depending on board that wall lands, they will have everybody in the box set to defend this. Sakalis looking for an option in the middle, headed down, second ball, found by Zoe Hudson, knocked back forward. Pickett, Mr. Parbury, she's done well to swivel away and get the ball in, and it's going to find the roof of the net. Box Hill increasingly camping out in the South Melbourne half. As Cooling sends that one forward, but no Box Hill player in the vicinity. However, it's going to be a throw-in in a rather complicated area for South Melbourne, deep on their left defensive flank. Opportunity for Box Hill to do pretty much exactly what they've done, set up a defensive cordon. Bali does well to turn and play the ball away, but it's only as far as Stoichescu. He's going to carry the ball forward and then just gets away from her as she's trying to send it out to Parbury on the left flank. Box Hill preparing to make a change as well. It's going to be Aska Doi coming off the field to be replaced by Mawat Sumayoro. So Aska Doi, she has had that quadricep heavily strapped throughout the game, and now she's going to make way for Sumayoro. Doi, of course, has been carrying that knock for most of the season. Something of a challenge for coach Bobby Zradkovsky in that he's got players like Sophia Sakalis and Laura Pickett on the park doing good jobs for him, but coming from the A-League women's space, they are without much in the way of match minutes in recent weeks. How much match fitness do they have? Can he not only use them for 90 minutes in this one, but if he does, are they going to be all right to back up next week and the week after that? Speaking with the coach before the game, he said it would be a collaborative process with the players to figure out when the moment they needed to come off would arrive. He's not inclined to risk them. He knows there's plenty of football still to be played this season, but at the same time, he knows how good they are. He also knows how desperate they are to play. And with Box Hill reducing the deficit by one, less than 5 minutes into this second stanza, through Devon Jackson. Another one of these players confronting, that he has to confront with that conundrum. They'll all be eager to stay out there and try to force their way back into this one. Box Hill ball. Christensen. South. Trying to come forward and build something of their own in this second half. All lofted out to the right. Carberry against Papatsanis. That ball has gone out. South Melbourne throw it. Papatsanis, high ball in towards the back post. Cooling there to initially block it down. Yamano, she wound up, got too much underneath the ball, and it will sail out comfortably for Box Hill for a goal kick. Rapp. Got it quickly to Westland, who sends it back central for Roach. Rapp. Christensen calling for the ball. Did she time her run? She did. The flag stays down. Taylor Christensen advancing into the area. Taylor Christensen brought down in a fair manner. Good challenge. Papatsanis tries to keep play alive, but her cross gets away from her and it's swallowed up by Stathopoulos. Stathopoulos advances to the edge of her area and boots it forward. Bobby Zradkovsky wanted a free kick for the challenge on Bucalo. None coming. South Melbourne now with the ball in their defensive third. Christensen wanted to get play going quickly with the throw-in. Didn't see any option she liked in front of her, so she'll leave it for Papatsanis. Wrap. Central to Westland. Kept in by Papatsanis. No. Throw in for Box Hill. South Melbourne substitutes warming up on the far side of the pitch. As mentioned in the first half, they've got the backup goalkeeper Emma Olsen, Asia Claridge, Isabella Sewards, Georgia Candilas, Annalise Bader, and Jessica Sheehan available to call upon. Well, that play was kept alive, and in the end it resulted in a shot from Dragana Klajic, which sort of hung up there for a while before eventually drifting wide. Stathopoulos boots it forward, only as far as Varley. Charged down by Mikulev. Klajic up there providing support. Then a big coming together between her and Cooling. 50-50 ultimately is the decision, and it's going to be a throw-in as the Box Hill substitutes bench goes to join their South Melbourne rivals in warming up. Sumayoro already into the contest for Box Hill. They can call on Olivia Ellis, Mariam Anvari and Olivia Johnston as other outfield options. Deborah Lawrence is the backup goalkeeper. Cooling chests it out. Forward for Christensen, chests it down. Ball around the corner was intended for Mikulev, didn't come off. Papatsanis for Christensen. Battling for it with Stochevski. Box Hill defender does enough to win a goal kick. Stathopoulos surveys the scene in front of her, opts to go short. Flicked around the corner by Sakalis, but it's going to go straight to Misha Westland. South unable to take advantage. Stochevski now, marauding down the left with it. The ball did find its way past Westland. Jackson maybe taken aback by that, couldn't control it. And South certainly appear to at least have stemmed the early tide that Box Hill produced in this second half. Esposito not seeing much, if any, of the ball in these last few exchanges, the South Melbourne keeper. As the visitors looking for a fourth goal and to re-establish that 3-goal buffer, come forward again, have a throw in on the left flank. To Klajic. Wanted to send it back to Yamano, couldn't. But South will have another throw in. To Rapp, gets past her and Klajic. Jackson, Box Hill's goal scorer. Plays the ball into space down the right. Harley gets there first for South Melbourne. Chronopoulos to Varley. Roach was pointing into space up top, asking for the ball to be sent there by Varley. She instead opted to keep it along the turf and in the back line. Christensen comes central, Roach down the right. That's where the ball was placed. Couldn't find the South Melbourne number 16. Jackson tries to turn. Didn't come off. Ball will eventually spill to a teammate in Murray, though, who plays a 1-2 with Sakalis. Sevilla Sakalis gets it back. Wanted to play give and go with Sumayoro. Sumayoro somehow still on the ball. Murray now slices a pass out to the right. Sent back central in the Sakalis direction. Varley got in the road, and then eventually something approaching an effort on goal from Bridie Cooling, but it was a tame one, and it was one that was also well wide. Sakalis, Jackson, sandwiched, has to battle for it and wins it back. Devon Jackson went down. No free kick, instead Box Hill. A throw in on their right flank. Cooling has space to receive and then play the ball in Sumayoro direction. Brought it down on her knee. I think the second defender took it away. Christensen has dropped very deep to help with the South Melbourne defence. Now maybe an opportunity for her to get forward. As her side have a throw in. Chevsky to Hudson, back to Stathopoulos. Hill. Trying to work their way through this South Melbourne midfield. Hubbard got it to Sakalis, who instigated the switch from left to right. Attempted give and go. Sumayoro and Jackson doesn't come off, elicits groans from the home support. Jackson was clean through on goal. Sumayoro had just been able to poke the ball in front of her. Papatsanis, looks like Box Hill preparing to make a second change over on that sideline. Probably at the next stoppage. Murray directing traffic for her side. Ball down the right flank. Nina Bucalo. She's got Sumayoro in the middle. Carberry as well. Couldn't get the ball across to either of them. Varley for South Melbourne. Will just take her time, calm things down after that brief foray of excitement. Murray winning the ball back for Box Hill in the middle of the park. Jackson to Sakalis to Murray. Dinked ball over the top in the Sumayoro direction. She brings it down. Can she keep it in? She can. Callow sends it in. Jackson! 3-2! With 20 minutes to go, Box Hill, in the form of their football firm, Devon Jackson, has reduced this deficit from 3-0 to 3-2. And the wind very much at Pythagoras' back. as Jackson finds space in the box and gets a brace for her side. The sub being made as well. It will be Olivia Johnston coming onto the park in place of Elwyn Palmbury. And folks, if you have just joined us or you've been watching all along, maybe you could message your friend and tell them to tune in, because it looks like with 20 to go, we are in for an absolute grandstand finish. South Melbourne, so clinical in the first half, looked like they had this game well in hand at 3-0. But Box Hill have come out of the blocks, and in the form of Devon Jackson, brought it back to 3-2. Remarkable stuff. And Box Hill coming forward again. You know now that they will finish this game strongly. At home, with the adrenaline coursing through their veins, born of these 2 goals. They're going to back themselves. They're going to come at South. And the onus is upon South Melbourne to, well, either batten down the hatches or find a way against the run of play to grab a fourth and break the backs of this attempted comeback. As Papatsanis gets us going again. Only as far as Stoichevsky, who sent it central to Hudson with her head. Cooling had her pass closed down. Klajich, her pass picked out by Jackson. Nicalo to Sumayoro. Cooling, just unable to keep it in. Westland, she has a brace for South Melbourne with 2 somewhat spectacular long-range strikes. The second potentially, however, one that a cross that got away with her, but in these circumstances you always want to try to give the benefit of the doubt to the player if you can. Can she pull a third rabbit out of the hat for South Melbourne? She's on the ball now, Misha Westland. Not seeing a lot in front of her. So South are going to have to make do with a throw-in on their left flank, and they're going to be making a change as well. It's going to be Isabella Stewart's coming on, replacing Emily Roach. So we talked about the challenge of managing newer player, so Bobby Zdravkovsky. That's a challenge for Coach George Georgiadis as well. And Emily Roach, the new figures for South Melbourne. She will make way for Isabella Stewart's. Of course, if you are going to be bringing a player in off the bench, Isabella Stewart's, well, you could do a lot worse. Such a consistent performer for FV emerging over the years. Spent 2023 with Calder United and now here at South Melbourne. As Box Hill trying to burst forward, Johnston, not long on the park, was lurking. So Carlos, one way and then the other with Christensen for company. That's a fantastic turn, and then the effort. Just over the bar from Olivia Johnston. The substitute coming ever so close to bringing this game back to 3-3. South Melbourne. Surviving with that lead intact for now. 30th minute of the second stanza. Here's 75th minute. 15 minutes of regulation to go. Then whatever our fourth official deems appropriate for added time. And Stathopoulos comes out of her penalty area to claim that one. Bring it back inside before picking it up. Hoofing it forward to nobody really in particular, but it's going to bounce awkwardly, and that enabled Sumayoro to get across and head it down to Piccolo, who wins the throw-in for her side. Brodie Cooling to take. Jackson tried to play it off, couldn't control it. Hudson, she's going to give it away, only momentarily. Stoichevsky winning it back. Johnston central for Sakalis, poked away from her. Another opportunity now, Sophia Sakalis to Sumayoro again. She wanted the give and go with her striker, didn't come off, but Box Hill retained possession. Ball played central, that's in the Sumayoro direction, but she's unable to get to the ball before it's claimed by Christina Esposito. Box Hill coming into this game unbeaten in their last two. A draw with Boroondara last week. A 3-0 win over Heidelberg at this ground the week before that. They want to make it 3 games unbeaten. South Melbourne had that really good 3-1 win over Calder United last week. They want to hold on, solidify that spot in the top 4. Sumayoro tries to turn. Knocked clear, but Box Hill keeping the pressure on. Only as long as Stewards would allow. She took it away for South Melbourne. And then the visitors in no rush to take this throw in that they have on that left flank. Christensen. Ball is charged down, sent back by Rapp. Christensen is in an offside position. It looks like Mariam Anvari is going through the stages of a warm-up for Box Hill on that far sideline. One-time South Melbourne representative. Esposito surveys the scene before going short to Chronopoulos. To Varley. Ball forward to Rapp. First time around the corner to Papatsanis. Varley's pass straight to Johnston. Sakalis able to keep the ball. Sophia Sakalis trying to just slice it through. South scramble it clear initially. Johnston to Jackson. Jackson! A second half hat-trick action, Jackson. And Box Hill have dragged themselves off the canvas. 3-0 to 3-3. Devon Jackson, the football fern, the Canberra United rep, has come from the clouds and tied this game up. South Melbourne huddling up in their half. They are stunned. The home crowd sends into raptures. And now, well, we were talking about with 20-odd minutes to go, Box Hill trying to figure out the comeback to make it 3-3. They've done that with 10 minutes to spare now. with 10 minutes of regulation remaining. Can they find a fourth? Can they find a winner? All the momentum going the hosts' way. As Jackson, sense of anticipation building on the crowd whenever she is on the ball. Box Hill making another change, and it is Mariam Anvari coming on for Nicolina Bucalo. So Sumayoro goes out to the right. Anvari takes up a central position with Jackson just in behind her. Olivia Johnston on the left. Box Hill have made 3 changes in this second half, and as you'd expect, they're all attacking. And they're now all prowling that front third with, well, fresh legs. Free kick for the hosts. Hoofed forward. Initial header from Rapp. It's followed by Papatsanis putting the ball out. Anvari couldn't bring it down. Hudson knocks it back only as far as Westland. Pickett. Her pass can't find a teammate. Can have another go, sending it out to the right. Cooley chests it down. Keeps it away from Westland, but her ball forward. Too much mustard on it. Anvari can't get there. Claimed by Esposito. But here we go, South Melbourne under pressure. You know, every player wearing a white shirt will be feeling the intensity coming at them from the hosts. As Bobby Svetkovsky plays ball kid, urging his side on, urging them to find a fourth and win this game. Hudson. Murray thought about the shot. Didn't need one in the ends, as instead it's going to be a free kick in a central position. Sophia Sakalis wanders over, as does Laura Pickett. Two of these Box Hill stalwarts back after their A-League women commitment, standing over this one. The right boot of Pickett, the left of Sakalis. 3-player wall for South Melbourne. And it looks like it is going to be sent at the south goal. Pickett. Oh! Well hit off the boot, forcing Esposito to hurl herself at it and tip it over the bar. You could see as soon as she made contact that that was goal bounds. And Box Hill have themselves a corner. Just under 7 minutes of regulation remaining as per the scoreboard here at Wembley Park. Corner is delivered in towards the back post. It's going to fall down. Chaos in the box. South scramble it clear. Klajic pokes it on. Cooling gives chase, and she'll get there. Sent back central. Rapp chests it down. Sakalis keeping her company. Sub coming for South Melbourne. Papatsanis making her way off the park. So a potential reshuffle out the back for South Melbourne as Georgia Candilas comes on. Looks like Stewards has gone into that right back position. Murray for Box Hill. Gets it to Sumayoro. Sakalis. Sophia Sakalis trying to play it into the path of Sumayoro. Chronopoulos got there first. Yamano. To Rapp, to Christensen. Anvari lunging for it. And ultimately, after trying to play advantage, the referee brings it back. Yamano. Central for Rapp. Across the field for Candilas. Poked away by Johnston. Only as far as Westland. Nisha Westland. Back to Varley.
Go, go, go!
Takes it away from Mariam Anvari. A footed ball knocked straight back, but only as far as Rapp. Who pass behind. Nobody making the run for South Melbourne. Stathopoulos to claim. 86th minute here at Wembley Park. Scores are 3-3. 3 first half goals to South Melbourne from Westlands and Micallef. Westland with a brace, cancelled out by a second half hat-trick from Box Hill's Devon Jackson, who's now contesting for the ball. Box Hill won a free kick for the pressure to Murray. I don't get one, but they retain possession. Anvari trying to play the ball to Sumayoro. It was closed down. Christensen knocks it on. Micallef is through. No real support for her. And she's marshalled out for what will be a goal kick. Ball blasted forward. To nobody really in particular. Yamano sending it back to Christensen. Sumayoro taking it away from her. Foot race is on. Ronopoulos and Anvari. Anvari gets there first. Johnston, the only player waiting for it in the middle. Johnston can't get there. Esposito knocks it away, only as far as Jackson. She'll knock it back. Sumayoro can't make proper contact with it. 88th minute. Just about 2.5 minutes remaining of regulation. Rapp. Back to Hronopoulos. Her pass forward. Picked out. Anvari chests it down for Sumayoro. Oh, with Sumayoro, she's kept going across. Anvari had it poked clear at the last. Good defending from South Melbourne. Vavali's remained down on the turf in the aftermath. And Box Hill come up with the ball. Varley back to her feet. As Murray in possession for Box Hill. Sakalis there as well. Stoichevsky. Pickett carrying the ball forward from the centre of defence, but her pass only as far as Rapp. Another goal, Anvari. Mariam Anvari. Wall of South Melbourne players confronts her, taking the ball back. Now, pass in behind, Georgia Candilas, the fresh legs off the bench. Georgia Candilas, Micallef awaits in the middle, but she can't get the ball in before the challenge from Zoe Hudson puts the ball out, but it will be a corner for South Melbourne. You can see on that scoreboard behind play, 60 seconds of regulation remaining, plus added time. Can South Melbourne break Pythagoras' hearts late? Can Box Hill win the ball back and get it up the other side of the pitch? Ball is sent in. Micallef! Peels did it cross the line, but South thought it did. Box Hill scrambled clear. Bicycle kick doesn't come off. Chaos. South pointing at the assistant. They thought that ball went up the line. Meanwhile, Jackson couldn't control it. Knocked down for Anvari, close down. Her ball wanted to find Johnston, couldn't get through. Christensen now, players have fallen like flies with cramp and fatigue. As Anvari goes into the book for maybe a late challenge there, and indeed I see it is Candilis, and while she's fresh off the bench, she won't be cramping yet. Throw in, knocked out by Box Hill. South Melbourne, well, they came to within what must have been inches, centimetres of taking back this lead with that Mikulev effort that was cleared off the line. Jackson sends it forward, but there's nobody in the vicinity for Box Hill. Varlick claims. Takes it away from Anvari. Her ball just sneaks past Johnson. Knocked down only as far as Westland. Sent it out to Yamano. Knocked away. Francesca Yamano, she's still wanting for a win. Gets play going quickly. Westland. Ronopoulos. Ball play forward, slicing off a Box Hill boot to their advantage. Jackson placing it into the path of Johnston, but Candilis content to watch it roll over the line for a South Melbourne throw-in. Candilis still looking worse for wears from that confrontation between, not confrontation, coming together between her and Anvari. She's closed down by Johnston. If either of these sides have designs on finding a late winner, they'll have to get the ball out away from this left flank. Meanwhile, Candilis has gone down again, clearly worse for wear. Referee signalling perhaps that a change is needed to the South Melbourne bench. Emily Spader and Jessica Sheehan still available to be called on. Georgia Candilis is remaining on the park, so South Melbourne won't be forced to resume play with 10 as she receives treatment. Now the signal comes that Candilis will need to make way. Does George Jordanis opt to make the change, or will South have to go ahead without 10? Well, no change for now. I think George Jordanis actually did want to make the change, but he's going to be forced to wait. Ball out of play. Can he make it now? So Candilis' race is definitely done. Next stoppage in play, South will be back to 11. Meanwhile, Jackson had her difficult to figure out if it was a pass or a shot there. Whatever it was blocked away. Murray through to Sakalis, swarmed. Jackson thought about a shot, instead sent it to Sumayoro. South still down to 10. Sumayoro couldn't get the ball away. Now battling with Yamano. Who did that come off? It came off Sumayoro. And well, the 5 minutes of added time that was signalled have now expired, but we did lose about a minute, if not longer, to the break in play with Candilas going down for treatment. However, we will all now live in anticipation. Just how much longer does the referee let this one go? Stewards. Meanwhile, it's Annalise Bader that has come onto the park to replace Candilas. Clayage just knocks it on in the Micallef direction. She can't win the ball. Sakalis back to Murray. Knocks the ball forward. Too close to Esposito, who claims. One eye on the action, one eye on our referee. One check of the watch. Sumayoro unable to control the ball. Box Hill throw leads to a south one. And a remarkable 90 minutes of football at Wembley Park comes to an end. After 45 minutes, a brace from Misha Westland and a strike from Danielle Micallef had South Melbourne cruising at 3-0. But Box Hill, in the form of Devon Jackson, finding a way to come back to it, 3-3. And setting up a dramatic final 10 minutes. A final 10 minutes in which Micallef had an effort, cleared off the goal line. They were pointing at the assistant. They thought it went over the line. Box Hill surviving. And in the end, neither side able to claim the 3 points. They will settle for one apiece after, as I said, what was an up and down, topsy-turvy, remarkable game of football here in Melbourne's East. These two sides back in action next week. Box Hill welcoming Calder United here on Saturday afternoon. South Melbourne welcoming FV Emerging to Lakeside on the Sunday. Other games this weekend. Tomorrow, FV Emerging hosting Burundara, Calder United against Alamein, Bentley against Essendon, and Brunswick Juventus against Heidelberg. All of those games, as this one was, on the NPL Women's Victoria YouTube page, live and free. Be sure to tune in, be a friend, tell a friend, get them to tune in as well, and subscribe. But my name has been Joseph Lynch. Thank you ever so much for your company this evening for what was a cracking game, 3-3 Box Hill South Melbourne. Thanks and success.